But I in the soca now, so I gonna talk about it. Yeah, I never do soca before. This is my first time doing it. I really come from the rap world. You know what I mean? I do all kind of things before. I do rock, I do blues. You know what I mean? This is my first time doing soca. I do calypso and all. Calypso is my first music I've actually come into. And I'm just disappointed at saying most of the lick bottom, man licking man bottom and thing they get in the soca thing. I don't really understand that. You know what I mean? All they saying this shit fucked up. Or they still trying to fit in. Or they still trying to bow down to get in. You understand, man? But that's not going to happen with us. I had a lot of artists around who was trying to eat. Some of them is soca artists, some is not. But I was saying since the carnival coming up, I decided this in November, say since the carnival coming up, we will start a soca project. Me and Father Jam from Father Jam Productions. So we started a soca project and produce about 4 artists. He actually produced more artists. But between me and him working together, we produced 4 artists, probably 5. And we was just, our main thing was just to eat. Carnival have millions of dollars coming into it, and we just wanted to get our piece of the pie, you understand, man? As far as I know, it never play on the radio. Somebody tell me it actually play on the radio, and I don't know. You understand? Usually when my thing play on the radio, I just get about 20 calls. Like, thing on the radio, thing on the radio. You know what I mean? I use, right now it's on the internet, hotsoca.com. You could go on hotsoca.com, you'll hear all the material there. And other than that, that's the only way to get. Yeah, get some feedback, but not plenty because, you know what I mean? My expectations was that we'd have a fair chance to compete. They have a $2 million soca monarch. You know, they have the road match. They have chutney soca. They have all of these things. You know what I mean? All I wanted was a fair chance to compete for the money. Well, what I could tell you is the carnival itself. Carnival belong to the people, right? Carnival actually belong to the ghetto. And when I say that, I was talking in a modern sense. But if we was to go back 100 years ago, you say carnival belonged to the slaves who freed themselves. And right now, it come to a point where they take it away from the poor and they give it to the rich. And the rich now, long time, they used to watch the poor people prancing and thing, and they didn't used to go outside. They didn't used to like it. Now it turn around. They put in costumes, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a costume. People don't make that kind of money in a month. They set it in a way now that they're leaving out certain people. They take the carnival out on Nelson Street and George Street and all of that, and they just bring it into certain parts of town. They take control of it. And they stop us from having access to it now, that we just had to be the spectators. We could no longer partake in it. You understand? Only thing it have for the poor man right now is Juve. And other than that, you know what I mean, it had nothing else for we had to spectate. I didn't get to hear much. You know what I mean? I say, besides me not getting played, have legends. Have legends not getting played. Have David Rudder, have Shadow. That these men, they're not even getting the rotation they're supposed to get. You understand me? Much for all these DJs. Now, I don't have a problem with the DJs. I have a big issue about DJs singing soca and thing. As far as I know, soca and calypso is for everybody. Once you could do it, you could do it. A bus driver could just decide to suddenly sing a calypso and he could win. And he could go back to being a bus driver after. You understand? So this is part of the culture. You have people who is professional calypsonians, you have people who just do it for their job or for their school, and they might just do it one time in their life. Some people might do it as a child, some people might do it when they're 50 years old, they might just decide to start singing calypso. It's the same for pan. If a person wanted to play pan next day, he could just go and play pan. And this is what is the real magic of the carnival, that all the people, all these citizens, and even foreigners, everybody could be involved in it. But right now it get industrialized and commercialized. They take away the actual spirit of it. You understand? The corporations that controlling the carnival and controlling the radio stations and all of these things here now. They not with the people of Trinidad. They not only they finger on the pulse of Trinidad. You understand what I'm saying? They can't feel it. So by them controlling it now, it actually being destroyed. It coming like Christmas. Like long time we used to see a bunch of Christmas lights and all of this thing going on. And now you watch you see like, all right, I don't have no Christmas again. The spirit of Christmas gone. It's just about commercialism now. And the carnival is the same thing now, you know? Nah, I'm not going. I wouldn't enter the soca monarch competition. Number one, because I wouldn't have a fair chance to compete, right? Because the problem I have with the soca monarch is be mobile throwing it. Number one, they have artists that they're sponsoring will not be mobile. The telecommunications company at Trinidad throwing it, right? And they have artists who they endorsing, and the same artists who being endorsed by the sponsors of the event competing in the event. So that is automatically eliminate plenty people from even being considered. You know what I mean? They just buy a blocks of radio time and they just play the artists over and over on it. And the average man now who can't really afford to buy radio time, he get left out of the picture. And for me to go into Be Mobile, because I that kind of person, I'm very competitive. That's how the hip-hop world is, and that's where I'm coming from. And nothing more competitive than soca music. So for me to come into soca without a plan to win, you know, it wouldn't make sense to me. So I coming in with a plan to win, and I'm not going to enter into the soca monarch unless I know I'm going to win for sure. You understand? And I can't compete fairly against people who in the monarch and they being endorsed by the sponsors. It don't make sense. But Destra, you have KMC, you have Blacks. Look, Blacks coming hard for the last fucking 5-6 years, real hard. I mean, dominating the streets, the ghetto, does feel Blacks. You understand? Like right now, everybody already know who gonna win the soca monarch. You could ask any Trinidadian, everybody know who gonna win. They know who coming second, they know who coming third. They know who. I know who the streets want. Right now, the streets want Fayan. You understand me? But we go just have to watch and see what's going. Because everybody already know who gonna win. And that is not no secret. Yeah. That's for sure, for sure. People gonna come out with it on their best. You know what I mean? All these radio DJs who saying, well, I used to sing before, you know, and I just decided I'm going to do this here. It's not really true. Nobody not saying they come in for the money, but everybody in it for the money. Well, make Marshall come out of retirement. You understand me? Look how long he do a soca monarch, more like, 10 years or something. You know what I mean? The $2 million is enough to make people jump out. And, you know what I mean? We're going to see what happens. It's going to be a big show. It's going to be a big show. I mean, Marshall himself, he will spend $1 million to win $2 million. So, you know what I mean? Well, I could say they hard working because the thing is that Bungie and Marshall and all of these artists, they could win without being endorsed by B-Mobile, you know. I mean, Bungie is the boss. He's the lyrical boss. He don't need a B-Mobile endorsement to win. But what I'm saying is, it's not ethical. I mean, if a person working in Hilo and Hilo giving away a flat screen TV, the person working at the cash register can't win it. A person who living in the same house with them can't win it. And that don't have to be questioned because everybody already know why. You know, so for them to do this on such a grand level and plus take money from our treasury, which is supposed to belong to all of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, it's supposed to have something in place to make sure that the competition fair and that everybody have a fighting chance to win this money. It's unethical. You can't have a DJ who is also an artist who also taking money for radio play. That is just the Trinidadian way. You have people in the government, they have businesses and corporations that they belong to outside of the government, and they just also go and bid for contracts with the government and get the contract. You understand? And that is unfair advantage. And this is just an overall thing in Trinidad. Everybody's seeing it, nobody don't say nothing about it. Because like I was telling about the artists and the lick bottom attitude. Everybody already know this shit unfair, but they just get any promise, all right, next year we go get we chance, all right, cool, so we don't say nothing, you know what I mean? All right, if all you want to see make it happen in the soca monarch, first of all you have to give men like Bungie and Marshall the $2 million anyway, so that they don't have to compete. They should be there as judges. You understand me? We have a whole generation of soca stars who not even getting the chance to step foot on the stage. You understand? It's just not accessible to the public, and this is what it used to be before. Before the people had access to it, no, not again. You understand me? Before a man could spend money, go to the studio, make a good song, he getting it on the radio. Nowadays, it's thousands of artists. You might have 1,500, 2,000 artists who don't get radio play. Well, the radio station is private companies, just like Cut, right? Cut is a private company disguised as a government agency. And the record company, the radio stations they appear to be public, but it's really private. And it is the advertisers who really control the radio. So the advertisers now could make the demand that they want to hear more of this or they want to hear more of that. But if the advertisers not say nothing, if the people not say nothing, the advertisers wouldn't say nothing. And the people basically just take wherever they feed them. If they get them pork, they eat the pork. If they get them chicken, they eat the chicken. You understand me? But they can't really tell a man who own a radio station what to play. So, I mean, if I had a radio station, nobody couldn't tell me what to play. So I could understand these men playing their own thing and all of that. But then they shouldn't be involved in, the people who at the radio station shouldn't be involved in the soca monarch. The radio DJ is not supposed to be involved in the soca monarch because that just give them an unfair advantage. Understand me? Like the main song that they have this year is Advantage and is real. My plans for the rest of the carnival is to make money. I probably is the poorest soca artist that have out, right? My plan is to make money. So we trying to get some CDs press up, go out and sell them, go out there in the grind, go out in the hustle. You understand me? And not just me and thousands of artists that have plenty soca artists in Trinidad. It have men who was a soca artist once in their life, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they never make a next soca song. But it's the same thing with pan players. In Trinidad, we have 200,000 pan players, but not all of them is permanent pan players. Some people play pan for 2, 3 years, some people play for 1 year, some people play for 20 years. You understand me? But keeping it accessible to the people is what will make the carnival. If anytime you take it away, it's no longer carnival. Well, actually, yes, I would like to get into fets. The people who promoting the fets, they don't have no idea who we are. You know what I mean? So it's like how we going to get booked is a catch-22 because you had to get popular for the promoters to book you, and the promoters just had to book you for you to get popular. Plus, the radio station ignoring us. They're ignoring the public. They're ignoring the people at Trinidad and they force feeding them. My plan is to come and take over soca, dominate it, and make it into my bitch, you understand me? That's how I just do music. Anything I do, and we had to come in, we had to dominate it, and we had to control it. Not control the other artists, but control us. We had to be the best. You understand? So we working hard at being the best soca artists. You understand me? We don't want to be the best Marshall or the best Bungie. We want to be the best us, and that would automatically make us the best. Yeah, well, the strategy that I have is basically to get all of the underground men, the men from the street, who is the hardest. You understand me? I go and deal with them. I go and deal with the ones who the radio stations just reject. I go and deal with the ones who nobody don't hear about. And them is the ones I go and put on my team. And I guarantee it's going to be harder than the ones who are out there right now. You have too much men in there whose performers are not artists. And our strong point is that we is a team of artists. And other men is just performers. If you have an next man writing your song for you, he's not an artist. Just remember that. He's just a performer. All right, I have a song named Must Come In. Right, and when you watch it, it'll say, make it happen, must come in. Make it happen, must come in. And you put that sentence together, make it happen, must come in. And that is me letting all you know that I hear and I must come in. You have no way, have nobody not going to shut me out. Because if all you shut me out of the feds this year, next year we bring in our own fed. All you shut me out of the radio, we want to bring our own radio station. You understand me? Because we're not begging all you for nothing. But all you still had to step up, you understand me? When I just hear about men saying, boy, we're going to freaking do this or we're going to do that to a DJ. You understand me? Because it have men on the team frustrated, men right now saying, boy, let me go and fucking slap this DJ and let me do that. Like, no, you can't do that. You understand me? Because right is right. So, we're going to do our own thing. If we understand all we want, if we don't get a fair chance to compete, then we want to shut this shit down. You understand me? I would prefer they take the money from our treasury and put it to something that could benefit all of the people. Because right now they're putting it and everybody already know where that money going to already. We have WASA FET, licensing FET, fire FET, army FET, and all of these is different things of the government. Different things from the government, of the government, and they also partaking in the bias that going on with the radio stations. So what I want to say is that you can't take our money, you can't take the money of the people of Trinidad and Tobago and use it for your entertainment. You can't take it and not give us an equal opportunity to earn some of it. Because if you have a contract up for a job, everybody's supposed to be able to bid. These things are supposed to be going on in secret. You understand? They promise transparency. It has no transparency going on. So I just see this whole thing as one big thing because I see in the same attitude that the government have towards giving contracts to their own people. I see it as the same thing with the soca monarch. I see in the soca monarch and Be Mobile giving their own people the top slots. You understand me? And leaving out the rest of us. Yeah, you could check me on Facebook. Make It Hapn. MAKEITHAPN. And you can check out hotsoca.com. Right? Hotsoca.com. And fuck who don't like it.